Hi, my name is Jenny.
I'm Bristol. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bristol. Okay, so you are aware today that I'm interviewing you?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to let you know that you are going to be recorded and that everything that you will say in here in this video will stay in this room. However, you are being recorded and I will have to potentially show this to our classmates for the assignment. And so anything you say that you could harm yourself or harm other people, I will need to tell that to someone. But otherwise, are you aware that there are some exceptions to your confidentiality?
Yes, I'm aware.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's just get started. I'm gonna ask you some questions about yourself, and some of the questions will regard what social work means to you and your things about you personally. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So, what are your strengths that you see as very helpful in social work?
So the strengths that I have, I would say I'm very passionate about my my career, my major. I'm all about social work, all about helping people. That's what I've always wanted to do, is just, I guess, help people. So I feel like just my compassion alone would be one of my biggest strengths. My commitment, my mentality, how I think. Since I started school, I've kind of shifted more my thinking just to kind of fit, I guess, my career. So I kind of always think of in a dual perspective. I always think about the other person. So it's just all the stuff that I've learned in school so far have kind of built up my strengths.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So that's basically just your passion of wanting to help people.
Yes.
And then what is your main focus for social work? What is the kind of field you want to get into?
I came into social work thinking I wanted to do something with child welfare. But after learning more about the field, I kind of became interested in other topics such as sex trafficking. That was probably one of my biggest interests.
Mm-hmm.
And lately, I've been kind of shifting my focus towards kind of into a mental health, I guess, field. So that's kind of what I want to go towards at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's cool. I see, what is it about child welfare that you're very...
Often I read a book. It was called A Child Called It. It's very, very popular. So that's one of the first books that I read. And I think that my dream in social work, kind of wanted to help, people in situations like that. It made me very angry at first, but then, I realized what's the whole point of being angry? You can't major in social work. But yeah, that's probably one of the biggest influences in my major, is probably that book. Also, another book that I really enjoy reading is, I think it's called Sold. I read the book 100 times, but it's about sex trafficking too, so that really influenced my interest in that field as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's always something we read and it just sparks with
Yeah,
us,
right. Yeah, it's a really good book.
That's good. Okay, and then I think we already covered your reasoning for seeking a degree in social work. But I also want to know, leading up to this question, what concerns do you have about the field?
What concerns? I feel concerns that I already have, at my current job, at the homeless shelter. I would say sometimes I get overwhelmed, especially when it has to do with I guess upset people. At my job, I deal with that a lot. I have gotten better at it though, so I'm really good at de-escalating situations or dealing with people in crisis. But yeah, that was one of my biggest concerns when I first started working there. But I'm working on that. So
it's good. It's good that you're working on it, and it shows that we do go through stress, even if you're a studying social work student, or even after you get your bachelor's. Some of us do go through stress or potentially burnout.
Right.
It's a lot of people say social workers go through. So it's good that you're being self-aware of hey, I need to make sure that I'm not impaired at work, because it's going to limit me from doing my job.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good concern. Okay. All right, and then going on to the next question. What kind of concerns do you have for this SWU 312 class?
Um, I haven't seen any any difficulties yet, so I haven't really like ran into any concerns. Yeah, I think so far the class has been very helpful. So not more of a concern, it's more of a I see it more as I guess helpful, like I said. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't really seen any difficulties in it. But
Okay.
yeah.
So no concerns, no difficulties so far.
Yeah. I feel like maybe just like finding time to do like the assignments, but that's just in general, not like specifically with the class. But
It's the start of the semester, so far nothing's been
yeah.
like overwhelmed for you so far, so that's pretty good. All right, and then do you have any concerns about like your interviewing skills at all?
Um, I don't think so. Maybe just I guess kind of like keeping up with the conversation, like finding the right thing to say or like what not to say. I feel like so far I kind of have like a gist, but just I guess more practice.
Okay.
It's always helpful.
So you want more practice, and you're concerned about carrying a conversation, if that's what I heard correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, awesome. And then just to switch topics, just to lighten up the mood for you, what do you enjoy doing in your like spare time? Do you have any hobbies? Do you have any favorite things to do outside of school?
I really enjoy spending time with my friends. Like that's probably like my favorite thing to do. I don't have many friends, but like the friends that I do spend a lot of time with them. Like whenever I have a chance, like on my lunch break or like after work or before work, like before school. So yeah, that's something that I really enjoy doing is like being around, my friends. However, lately I did get my own apartment, so I have been spending a lot of time by myself, which is great too. So that's probably like my new hobby is just kind of like just like staying in and just kind of like practicing self-care methods, face masks and stuff.
That's cool. So I'd say it's like quality time with friends. And then you do like a lot of face masks. Like, are you into like beauty?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
And then do you have any like, do you play like a significant role in people's lives, or do you have like a self-titled role that you play on daily life?
Like the roles that I would play. I feel like I play a very important role at my job currently, with my coworkers, with my like supervisors, with their clients. So I feel like I play. That's probably my biggest role and my biggest where I spend the most time is at my job. So yeah, so that's where I kind of, I guess that is my biggest role. And then I'm a sister. I have like 3 sisters, and then I have my parents. I'm also a daughter. So yeah, so my family is also very important to me. So my role as a part of the family is also very important. I'm a student as well, so my schoolwork and my school is also very important to me. So yeah, those are like I guess my 3 main roles. It's just like a family member, student, and a client care coordinator at my job. Yeah.
That's cool. So, wow, you're like very all around.
Yeah, I'm so busy.
Is it hard for you to balance that?
Yes, sometimes. It's just like, yeah, I guess it is pretty hard trying to balance everything when you have like so little time. But yeah, I manage. It keeps me busy and focused.
So props to you.
Thank you.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Alright, and then just to maybe ask you another question about yourself. Like, what is one fact that not many people know about you?
I would say I don't know, just because I feel like I'm a very open person, so I feel like I like to voice myself out a lot. So I'm sometimes more sensitive than what people think. I'm like at work, I'm really sarcastic with my coworkers, and then sometimes my feelings do get hurt. So I feel like sometimes they're not like aware that sometimes I can get sensitive. So yeah.
So you basically are a very sensitive soul. Do you
Yeah.
react things to a lot of things?
Not necessarily. It's just I feel like sometimes my my personality might shift away from will shift away from like that sensitivity area. So yeah, I feel like sometimes people forget that I can like I'm not always I guess like out there and I guess like I wouldn't say happy, but like there's some days where I do where I am like feeling like more I guess sadder than others. So yeah.
Okay. And then, do you have any things you want to talk about, or anything that you missed during this interview?
I don't think so. Do you have any more questions?
Let's see. I guess like what is like your main dream like occupation within social work? Do you have like any administrative goals, like maybe being an administrator or like case manager?
I feel like I really like to be like front of the line staff. Like my supervisor right now, she took on more like administration roles, and she'll sometimes tell me that it affects like I guess her specifically she said to quote her, I have a master's degree and I have a master's degree for me just to be filing papers. So I could really tell that she like misses kind of like the human interaction, and she kind of wants to stay away from like the administration side. So I kind of see that like we go to school to learn about how to work with people during the most difficult times. So I really want to express that and fulfill that. So yeah, I guess I always want to be at the front of the line, not necessarily a case manager, but just working with people like one-on-one. I don't think like I would want to. I guess I wouldn't say that I would ever turn down like an administration job, but if I could probably do both, like do something along those lines, but still be able to practice my career, then yeah, that would probably be great for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Priscilla, that concludes the end of our interview. Thank you so much for taking the time out here today to come and do this interview with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.